Hello and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night. No, good night. Good day to you, wherever you're watching from. It's irrelevant to me, as long as you're watching. And I hope that you're doing well. That's the other important thing. You're doing well and you're watching the channel. That's the main thing, right? So I woke up this morning, I'm thinking, you know what I mean, it's going to be a nice Saturday, whatever. Watch some football, as you do. But, and then, you know, boop. I just saw something on my YouTube and it happened to be KRSNA on an interview with King Crooked. That's just happened on his episode 3 of is it Crooks Corner? Crooks Corner. So this isn't like a review or reaction, by the way. Let's just forget that. This is going to be more of a watch along because I haven't watched it. I only watched like the first 2 minutes just to make sure that it was real. And it was, so yeah, I think I'm going to get into it, right? Let's just get into it. It's 27 minutes. It's going to be in a few parts. Hopefully it's going to be in 2 parts because it's equipment dependent. Like when the lights go out, they'll go out. I don't know if they're going to last the full 27 minutes. So it's going to be more of a watch along. If there's some comments that I'll make, obviously I'll stop it and I'll make them and all that kind of shit. So hopefully you enjoy it. Like I said, it's not a review, it's not a reaction. It's a watch along. Okay, so if you haven't watched it fully, or if you want, obviously watch it with me and the channel, here's your chance, right? Here we go. No more talking, more watching. Don't know why, all the time. Here we go.
So, your dreams never stand a chance in front of obligations.
Yeah, that's from way back.
That's a sick line.
Hey, man,
that's a sick
when I heard
line.
that line.
Let's go back to that line real quick. What? That's a sick line, bruv.
Never stand a chance in front of obligations.
That is so true.
That's
that is
from
so
way back.
fucking true.
That's from way back, bro.
Hey, man.
By the way, can we just sit back, enjoy the watch? I'll try and pause as less as possible, but obviously, you know, when I will.
When I heard that line, it just hit me hard. Like, wow, it's so true, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do we know where that line's from?
Coming up in a place like India where there was no hip hop throughout, you know, and I wanted to be a rapper. It was super tough, and you know, just sticking with it was like the mission, you know, and like.
Look, the thing, obviously, I'm not a rapper, so I can't imagine the grind and the work that these guys have to put in, and like you're saying, especially in a country like India where it wasn't as predominant. Do you know what I mean? I'm from Albania, so like rap has been around for like what, the past just over 20 years, I would imagine. Obviously, you know, there's been bits and bobs, but in terms of mainstream, it's only been the past like what, 20 years that it's coming to Albania mainstream, and obviously the rappers there as well. But yeah. And obviously the car that was on, by the way, like I don't know if anyone noticed the vibrating. That's what the car. Yeah, okay. That's what happens when you park
Last 5 years, it started popping off.
Shush.
And now it's like sort of, you know, it's coming
going
together.
Yeah. So that was off the Sellout joint, right?
Yeah. That was back in the day.
Yo, but you know what? That album, man, you was spitting on there, man. Like, it's crazy because you got
still here. I'm gonna be checking that out.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people. When was that? Like, that was your debut album, right?
Yeah, that was like 2012.
So still here. Okay, I know people have mentioned in the comments that obviously I do need to check that out, and I will. Standard, by the way. I'm just going like track by track, like whatever comes up, I'll just go into that. You're a lyricist, and obviously for the followers of the channel, you know how I feel about KRSNA, and that's exactly what I say all the time. Like, he is an absolute lyricist. He's a genius with his words.
Wow. And you was already on that level.
Yeah, but I was rapping in Hindi, which is the Indian language that I rap in. And then I switched back to English. I feel like the album had like some sloppy parts to it because like I made it really quickly. But like I went from Hindi back to English and then back to Hindi again, you know?
And now he does that on every track. But I know what he means. I'm guessing he means he started off like doing his music in Hindi and then changed to English and then back again. But obviously, it's the mixture of both. It's the mixture of both that really make KRSNA for me personally. Do you know what I mean? Like, just the way that he will use a Hindi word just to fit an English word or vice versa. It's unreal. But Crooks Corner, obviously, you know, if you don't want to watch the video with me on the bottom corner, then by all means go and check out the original video, which you'll find the links to in the description.
Hey, man, Welcome, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. You know what I'm saying?
You know it.
Hip hop is global. The culture is worldwide, and we need to acknowledge that more. You know what I mean? And recognize that fact. Bring the community together. You feel me?
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, I said that as well. No, just go check out the rest of the videos what I do on KRSNA and Desi Hip Hop in general, and then obviously you guys will know what I'm talking about. But again, just from what he said there, it is global. It's irrelevant in terms of what language he's spitting his lyrics, and like if it sounds good, it's good. Like,
so with
just
that
this
being
lifestyle
said,
as well.
My guest today is here to share his story. He came all the way from India. He's a veteran. He's a trailblazer. He's a trendsetter. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Help
sir.
us
Yeah,
welcome
boy.
KRSNA.
Yeah,
Thank you,
boy.
man.
Thank you, brother. It's
Thanks
an
for
honor to
being
be
here,
here,
man.
bro. It's an honor to be here.
I love it.
Man, it's
I'm excited. Do you know what it is? I'm really excited about this interview.
good to be here too, man. Just with you talking, man, because you know I'm real big on the hip hop community coming together on a global scale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what we're here to do right now. And
Yeah.
it's rap stars all over the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's getting big now.
It's getting big, man.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the hip hop scene in India.
So in India, like the past 5 years, it's like really popping off, and like there aren't a lot of big rappers in India yet, but you know you can
What
see.
you big?
Wait. Just wait a second.
Like there aren't a lot of big rappers in India yet, but you know you can
What
see.
you big?
I mean, yeah, like yeah, like, they're like
It's your boy. Yeah, well, you know, I'm different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. He said
5,
those
6,
words.
you know,
Yeah.
big ones, but like besides that, but you can see
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
a whole,
Fair enough.
like,
Fair enough.
a crop of new rappers coming up, you know, who are getting influenced and who are seeing like
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you can make a living off rap, so they want to rap, you
Right,
know, and
right.
that's how it starts. Like you need to have like role models
Right.
to start.
You got to have some sort of a foundation, somebody to inspire you
Yeah.
to say, hey, I could do this. And for many people, that person was you, you know, because
Yeah.
you started off
Yeah.
early when it was really not a scene, right?
Yeah, there was no hip hop, bro, and that's why I
Look,
grew up.
Look, the thing is, obviously, I didn't grow up with, you know, on the, like, you know, listen to the Desi hip hop scene, and same as the Albanian scene, by the way. I never grew up on that. Mine was just like, you know, your Eminems, your NWAs, your Dr. Dre's, your Snoops, your Ice Cubes, all that kind of stuff. Like, especially for me, it was West Coast. Like, that was my main thing. Like, I just adored the West Coast style. Like, Dr. Dre, he created something that was just incredible, and the G-Funk especially, but just the West Coast style, like in general, like a Dr. Dre beat, and oh god, it's just unreal. So but like not just Dr. Dre obviously, but like, you know, the West Coast rappers of the time, that's what I grew up on. I wasn't much into the Jay-Z's, you know, like the East Coast style, like, you know, the Nas's. I was more the West Coast. Even though I know people are gonna be like, oh, what? But, like, I like Nas, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't. I was listening more to that because I just love the beats. I love the music, and it was just for me.
Grew up on like I grew up on hip hop from here. You know, this was my
Oh, there you go.
like I used to listen to you back in the day when you were Crooked
Eye.
in Triago, you know, on death row, on death.
I only know him from Crooked Eye rather than the Crooked in Triago. Like, if you use that full name, I know it was Crooked Eye, and now it's King Crooked, and I know him from Slaughterhouse. Like, that's as far as my knowledge of King Crooked goes. I said this on the Overdrive track as well.
Bro, so like I heard that stuff, and that's what like got me started. And I didn't have any like, you know, anyone to look up to in India to, you know, to see like, oh, this is their journey, this could be mine. So I could never identify with that. So I kind of had to make my own way. But now, like, people are looking at that and being like, you know, okay, so we can do this and we can, you know, become something.
Yeah.
So that's how it's starting.
Who was some of your
Beautiful
inspirations out
stuff.
there?
So in India?
No, out here from the
Out
States.
here?
Yeah.
So I was like, early 2000s, late 90s, I was mad into the West Coast. So I used to listen to like everything. I used to listen to everything. Like,
Did my man just say the same thing? Did my man just say that he was, bro? It's like, you know, we're meant to be friends. Let's
right
be friends.
from fucking South Central Cartel to like
Don't know them.
Above the Law, to,
Yep,
you know,
of course.
like
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, all of that
Standard.
stuff. Then the Bay, Mac Dre. I was a big Mac Dre fan.
Rest in peace, Mac Dre,
Yeah,
man.
Dre,
See,
right,
you
okay.
never know
Wasn't into much
into
what
Mac Dre,
part
to be
of the
honest.
world your music is affecting. You
Yeah,
know
that
what I'm
was-
saying? Wow,
I was-
that man said South Central Cartel.
Yeah.
You gets clown. Y'all don't know nothing about that. But
Yeah, exactly. He's right. Like I've never heard of South Central Cartel. Like shit. I feel like okay. So again, I'm learning some new stuff, right?
Yeah, bro. I was like I was into it like deep. I was like listening to a lot of West Coast music. So it went from that to like I did hear like when that G Unit era came. That was I was big on that as well, and like
Yo, I had the G Unit T-shirt. I had the G Unit hoodie. I had the G Unit sneakers. The ones I did with Reebok. Um I had all that shit. I was a massive G Unit fan. I had the first album, Beg for Mercy. The second album was shit. That was just Terminator on Sight was shockingly bad, by the way. Like, let's not even get into that. But yeah, I fucking love G Unit, bro. G Unit was like when I moved to England, which was the early 2000s. G Unit, 50 Cent and G Unit, they were like my first proper introduction into like the not mainstream in a way, yeah, but like into like proper hip hop. Do you know what I'm saying? Because back in Albania, we never had that shit. We never had that shit. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't as advanced back in the day. You hear bits and bobs, but like you never, it just wasn't that big. So fucking hell, hey, that's some good shit. Right now, it's like shit, man.
and that's where I
Damn,
kind of
it's
got
good.
like a lot of my like punchline rap style from like Lloyd Banks and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, so
Lloyd Banks was one of the best freestylers.
that's
That's all I'm saying.
that started influencing my writing as well. So
Yeah. And then
He
you
was
started
amazing.
to find yourself.
yeah, then you start finding yourself, and then like what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You
Yeah,
know?
man. You did a TED talk.
Yeah, I did a TED
Oh.
talk back, like it was a couple of years ago.
I think someone mentioned that in the
Talk
comments,
to
to
me
be
about
fair.
that. Like, did they reach out to you?
to
Yeah,
look
yeah,
into
they
that.
reached out to me.
We'll look
And,
into that, to be honest.
So there was this a Bollywood movie about hip hop called Gully Boy, and I was in that movie, and I was
Oh,
playing myself,
hello.
right? But
Nice.
just
Hello.
like a rapper. So after that movie, I think a lot of people, started paying attention to the rap scene in India, and then they called me for a TED talk
Yeah, man.
because I had like a long journey. So
Yeah.
like they wanted me to talk
Wow.
about that. So
Yeah, because you
Wow.
started at 14, right?
yeah, I started at 14.
14 years old, man. Fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah. I fell in love with
Shit.
hip hop before that.
Before that?
Yeah, 14 I was like, let me try and write. And it was trash.
I gotta be honest. I'm gonna be honest, right? I was in the same. Like, I tried to write some shit as well, but I didn't have the full grasp. Well, say full grasp. I don't have the full grasp of the English now. See what I'm saying? I can't even speak English right now, so it's irrelevant. But back then, obviously, I was in the country for what, 4 or 5 years. I didn't have a good grasp of the language then. Do you know what I mean? Like metaphors and all that kind of shit. Because I missed that in terms of when I came to England. Like, I missed that primary school teaching. Do you know what I mean? When I started in like year 5 or some shit. Like, I jumped straight into year 5 when I came to England, so I missed that whole grammar, the basics of the English language, verbs, adjectives, adverbs. I've learned that like myself. I've had to learn that myself because, yeah, I missed that shit. So again, for him to, it's just beautiful. The fact that obviously he said, look, I know that, I think English is like the second main language in India, right? If not first, I'm guessing it's second main language. So everyone or the majority of the population will speak English to a certain degree. Am I right in saying that? If I'm not, tell me I'm a dick. No, yeah. So it's, for him may not have been as hard, but again, still difficult to actually, write your thoughts in a different language. It's different. Like, I used to get asked, do you dream in Albanian or in English? What? And it's not until recently I was like, well, yeah, it's English, I guess. But for a while, I don't know, maybe Albanian, fuck knows, who remembers his dreams, right? Here we go.
Well, it was trash back then. But like, I stuck to it. I was like, let me just do this.
Yeah, man. Talk to
I
me
love it.
about some of the roadblocks and the heartbreaks.
I've had a lot of those, bro. Because there was no real scene back in the day. It was always, I felt like a lot of labels were just jerking us around. They were just like, would say like stupid shit, like, like we don't have budgets for you, and like you'd sign a deal and then they won't have budgets, like so
Right,
you would
right.
just be stuck in like
Some
deals
bullshit
and stuff
right there.
like that.
Some fucking bullshit.
And there were like a couple of instances where I thought like, now this shit is gonna pop, but it just didn't. It was like that, and that at that moment you feel like, should I just leave it? Should I give up?
Right.
but something just kept pulling me back to music and to
Yeah,
hip hop.
I'm glad it did.
And every
Glad it
time I
did.
felt like that, like something happened and just pulled me back, you know?
Right, right, right. Yeah. I was watching a TED talk and you were talking about having to go back to work like a 9 to 5, and you know what I mean?
Twice or thrice in my life, like after thinking like this is gonna be it, you know, it wasn't it, and I had to go all the way back and then start again, you know. So
It's difficult. It is really difficult to try and be an artist without any financial backing. Do you know what I mean? Not just rapping, but even like myself as an example, or just YouTube content creators in general. It's tough. It really is tough because you know it's not that lucrative business at the beginning. Like you have to fucking like again. I'm without getting too personal with it, but like I'm working 2 jobs and it's still not enough. Do you know what I mean? Working 2 jobs is still not enough, and working 2 jobs means that I can't provide too much attention to the YouTube. So yeah, I get what he's saying. Like you know, you get sidetracked with making money to try and survive in order for you to be able to fucking to carry on. It's difficult. It really is difficult. But anyway.
but I think that gives me experience, you know. Like I've worked in the
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
worked in the music industry just to understand the music industry.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right, right, right.
So a lot of people don't do that, you know. But I think it really helped me.
Yeah, man, I think so too, because it gave you an insight on what's
Yeah.
going on in the business, on the business side.
That's the experience. That's the
And
experience.
nowadays, artists needs to know the business too as much as possible.
100%, bro. And you know, you don't need labels anymore as such. So like, you need to know where you're like, you know, where your
There's a lot
money's
of-
coming.
There's a lot of independent artists out there that are doing it big. So no labels. Nah, I mean, it's not like a dying business. Don't get me wrong, but
From, you know.
Right, right.
Not
And
right now.
speaking of not
can
needing
do it yourself.
labels, man, you built a incredible following on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they ride for you heavy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Bro, Indian hip hop fans are like heavy into it. Like if they're into your music and they like
it.
you, they're just gonna be everywhere, bro.
Hey,
And it's because of you guys that I've been introduced to KRSNA, and the fact that you're showing me the support to like you know carry on with it. It just goes to show like that you are dedicated fans, and I fucking love that. I fucking love that. But anyway,
that's beautiful, man. Did you just figure like, yo, this is the platform that I need right here, YouTube, and I
Yeah,
could go
so, like-
directly to the fans?
Yeah, no, so like in around like 2016, I signed to an agency, a management agency, which turned into a label later. And it's called Kalamkar. And like we're like one
Shout
of
out
the biggest,
Kalamkar.
like only hip hop labels in India.
boom.
Oh, wow.
So
I've got to say one thing though, yeah. King Crooked's beard is scratching on that mic like a cat scratching at a pole. Do you know what I'm saying? Like every time he turns his head, it's like I feel like paper's
So
being
that's
ripped
how it
behind.
started. And like when my fan base started
But it's
growing,
true.
I started putting stuff on my channel as well. It's my solo channel.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just that base is just growing right now, you know, and that's how it started. And I just rode along with it, bro.
What do you think about that? Like, what kind of advice do you give someone who wants to, you know, build their YouTube following up? Do they just have to stay consistent with the videos?
I think
like
it's the
what?
consistency, plus I think it's the content more than anything else.
Yeah,
If you're writing, if what you're doing is for real and it's true, I think people gravitate towards it, you know?
Yeah.
And if it's not, people see through it,
Right.
you know? If you're not real,
Yeah.
people will see through it, you know?
I'll see through that.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, that's the stuff I've said from when we started the channel initially. There's no point in me listening to a track, and in any language, for example, listening to a track and then jumping on and reacting to it. It just doesn't make sense because that's not a reaction. That's just a review, and that's not what I'm about. Excuse me, Jesus, ooh, got me that. Too much coffee. But like, it's more of a review sort of thing, more of a commentary, if you will. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a reaction to me, what it means is like, you know, a track that you've just been introduced to, someone in the comments said, check this out, and then you go check it out whilst recording it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's, I don't know, I mean, that's the realness, especially for the channel, and I know exactly what he means. KRSNA, like, I'm sure he's had opportunities where he could sell out in a way, do you know what I mean? And make millions and hundreds of millions. But he's going to keep it real. He's going to keep it real with the guys that he started it from the bottom with. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's what matters right now in terms of the scene and the label. Just you got to stick together.
Listen, I said trendsetter and trailblazer because you were like the first Indian rap act to tour.
Yeah, with like a band, with like a drummer and like all of that stuff.
Very nice.
Yeah. Because at that time they were not like because I got signed to a deal. I had this tour, and I was the first one who put that together because at that time no one was putting it like.
So you were the first dude.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man, we can sit here like that ain't nothing, but that's big, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
That is huge. That's fucking huge. The fact that he did it with a live band as well. I mean, that shit's not cheap. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even just about the money, but that takes some time to put together. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, they need to learn the songs, everything like. It's fantastic. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. When I was in school in year 10, we did Battle of the Bands, and we had and basically a couple of my friends said, "Oh, because you're an Eminem fan, do you mind doing Lose Yourself?" So I was like, "Oh, cool, no worries." So I obviously learned the lyrics, but it was a live band. Do you know what I mean? Like, they played instruments and I was just there rapping, and they played Lose Yourself live, and I was rapping in front of like my school in year 10 in my basketball vest with my backwards cap on, which, by the way, if I find the video, I will put it on. I promise I will put it on because I find it just funny as hell. But yeah, for me, saying that, like, that was the only time I've ever felt like being on stage is a feeling that I've never reached since. Do you know what I mean? It's just such a different feeling, and that was just for Battle of the Bands. That meant like literally nothing. I think we won in the end because of the Lose Yourself.
Bro,
Not because of me, just in general.
growing right now.
Yeah,
Something different.
You kicked it off, you know what I'm saying?
And you know
That's
what?
big.
I don't even
That's
think
big.
about these things anymore. It's just something that happened, and then
Right.
it's in the past, you know. Like
Right.
when
Humble.
other people
Love
say,
it.
you feel like, oh, it's something.
Modest.
But like
I love it.
I don't even think about it that much.
Hey, bro, you kicked it off. Like, if I could say I was the first dude from Long Beach to take it on the road, oh, I'm saying that. That's coming in the bars. Y'all already know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How
Best
was
believe
it,
it.
man, going on tour like that? And
Bro, it was-
where'd you go? Like, Baghdad, where'd you go?
In India, we went
Bombay,
to
I
like
mean.
like
Why did he say Baghdad, by the way? Why did my man say Baghdad?
Mumbai, which
Yeah.
is Bombay. There was Hyderabad. There was Bangalore. There was like a bunch of Indian cities with it.
Yeah.
And it was mad to just see people come out, you know. And
Yeah.
it was like, I mean, if I perform today, I'll probably have a lot more people there.
Right.
But like even then, like, you know, at that time, hip hop wasn't that big. So
Right.
just seeing that many people come out was like, you know, so encouraging. It was like maybe I could do this, you know.
Did you film it?
Yeah, I have footage. of it,
Oh,
yeah.
man, we gotta, you gonna have a cold documentary, bro. When you do your documentary.
Bro, that would be like, yeah. I'm gonna do
Sick.
that, bro. I am gonna
Sick.
do that.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Tell me, let's talk some music real quick, man. Who's on your list right now? Like producers and like, what's the sound? Let's
Yo,
go
that's
to the
scratching,
sound,
bro.
man. What kind of sound do you like? Cause that No Cap had that Spanish.
That's fine. Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
that, bro. You know what? Like.